In the small American town of Cedarville, anticipation filled the air as the 4th of July celebration approached. Emily Johnson and her friends Ethan Davis, Sarah Thompson, and Jacob Carter eagerly awaited the festivities. However, this year would bring an inexplicable and horrifying turn of events. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a strange and ominous fog crept into Cedarville, obscuring the streets and homes in an eerie haze. The townspeople noticed that their voices carried no echo, creating an unsettling silence that weighed heavily on their spirits. Unfazed by the peculiar phenomenon, Emily proposed that they explore a local, long-abandoned mansion known for its haunting reputation. Intrigued by the prospect of unraveling its mysteries, the friends agreed, unaware of the terrifying ordeal that awaited them. Entering the decaying mansion, a shiver ran down Emily's spine. The atmosphere turned frigid, chilling them to their core. Each step they took echoed strangely, as if the very essence of sound had been distorted within the mansion's walls. Armed with flashlights, they ventured deeper into the mansion's darkened corridors. Emily's heart raced, her senses heightened by a growing sense of foreboding. The air grew heavy with an oppressive presence, and shadows danced ominously around them. Within the depths of the mansion, they discovered an old journal left behind by a former resident. Its pages, filled with cryptic writings, revealed the unsettling truth about the mansion's haunted history. It spoke of a tormented soul who had made a desperate pact on a 4th of July, forever binding his fate to the mansion. As the night wore on, their exploration turned into a nightmarish maze. Doors slammed shut behind them, trapping them in an otherworldly labyrinth. Panic surged through their veins as they frantically searched for an escape, their every move accompanied by eerie whispers that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. With each room they entered, they glimpsed fragments of the mansion's dark past. They learned of the former owner's descent into occult practices and the unspeakable rituals he had performed. Emily's perception sharpened as she sensed the lingering anguish and trapped spirits within the mansion's cursed walls. Suddenly, a mournful wail echoed through the halls, causing the friends to freeze in fear. The mansion trembled violently, as if awakened by an unseen force. Before their eyes, the specter of the former owner materialized, his malevolent gaze fixated on them. Emily's perception reached its peak, attuned to the ethereal realm. She felt the weight of the spirit's torment and the insatiable hunger for vengeance. Realizing they had to confront the spirit to break the curse, she rallied her friends, their determination outweighing their fear. A fierce battle ensued, the living pitted against the vengeful entity. The air crackled with supernatural energy as they fought for their lives. Time seemed to stand still as they pushed beyond their limits, their courage unwavering. At the stroke of midnight, as the dawn of Independence Day arrived, a blinding burst of light illuminated the mansion. The spirit let out a haunting cry, its spectral form fading into oblivion. The curse that had bound the mansion and tormented its restless soul was finally shattered. Gasping for breath, the friends emerged from the mansion, their bodies battered and their spirits forever changed. The oppressive fog that had blanketed Cedarville dissipated, and the echoes of joyous celebration resounded throughout the town. The townspeople remained oblivious to the harrowing ordeal Emily and her friends had triumphed over. Every 4th of July, as fireworks light up the night sky, Emily and her friends gather in quiet remembrance. They share a profound bond forged through their nightmarish encounter, forever linked by the echoes of that fateful 4th of July when they confronted the darkness and emerged victorious. In a peaceful American neighborhood, the anticipation for the 4th of July festivities was building. The residents eagerly prepared for a night of celebration, unaware that something sinister lurked in the shadows. Sarah, a young woman living alone, was excited about the upcoming holiday. She adorned her home with patriotic decorations, creating a festive atmosphere. As night fell and the fireworks began to illuminate the sky, Sarah settled on her porch, enjoying the dazzling display. But amidst the crackling sounds of fireworks, Sarah sensed a presence nearby. She dismissed it as her imagination playing tricks on her, but an uneasiness lingered in her gut. Determined to ease her worries, she cautiously ventured into her house, making sure all the doors and windows were locked. As she settled into bed, Sarah couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. She tried to convince herself that it was just her imagination, yet a nagging doubt persisted. Tossing and turning, she finally succumbed to a fitful sleep. In the dead of night, Sarah was jolted awake by a noise downstairs. Fear gripped her heart as she strained her ears, listening intently. She heard faint footsteps creeping closer, each one accompanied by the unsettling sound of a rustling fabric. Dread washed over Sarah as she realized an intruder had entered her home. Panic set in, but she knew she had to remain calm and find a way to protect herself. Slowly and silently, she reached for her cell phone, ready to call the authorities. Just as she dialed the emergency number, the power went out, engulfing her home in darkness. The sudden loss of light heightened Sarah's fear, leaving her vulnerable to the lurking threat. Clutching her phone tightly, she tiptoed toward the closet, hoping to find something to defend herself. As Sarah fumbled in the darkness, she heard the intruder's menacing whispers echoing through the house. The words were muffled, but she could make out phrases like freedom, vengeance, and liberation. The chilling realization dawned upon her that the intruder was not just an ordinary burglar, but someone driven by a deranged obsession with the 4th of July. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of determination, Sarah mustered the courage to confront the intruder. She tiptoed downstairs, her heart pounding in her chest. The house was shrouded in an eerie silence, broken only by the faint sound of her own breathing. With each step, Sarah's anxiety mounted, unsure of what awaited her at the bottom of the stairs. As she reached the ground floor, a flicker of movement caught her attention. There, standing in the shadows, was a figure wearing a twisted mask adorned with the patriotic symbols of the 4th of July. Fear coursed through Sarah's veins as she stared into the cold, unfeeling eyes of the intruder. The masked figure approached slowly, a knife glinting in their hand. Sarah knew she had to act swiftly to survive. Summoning every ounce of bravery, she lunged forward, using the element of surprise to her advantage. A fierce struggle ensued as Sarah fought to overpower the intruder. Adrenaline fueled her every move as she grappled with the masked assailant, desperately trying to gain the upper hand. In the midst of the struggle, Sarah managed to tear off the intruder's mask, revealing the face of a disturbed individual consumed by a twisted obsession with the 4th of July. The recognition sent chills down her spine, but it also ignited a fire within her to protect herself and put an end to the intruder's reign of terror. With a surge of strength, Sarah managed to disarm the intruder, rendering them defenseless. The authorities arrived soon after, apprehending the deranged individual and ensuring Sarah's safety. As the sun rose on the 4th of July, the neighborhood woke up to the news of the harrowing ordeal Sarah had endured. The incident served as a chilling reminder that even on a day of celebration and independence, darkness could lurk in the most unexpected corners. In the aftermath, Sarah's bravery and resilience became an inspiration to her neighbors and the community at large. They came together, vowing to support and protect one another, forging an unbreakable bond. Every 4th of July, as the fireworks light up the sky, Sarah stands among her neighbors, a symbol of strength and courage. Together, they celebrate not only their independence, but also their unwavering spirit in the face of darkness, proving that unity and resilience can triumph over even the most sinister of threats. In a quaint town nestled amidst the American countryside, a couple named Emily and Michael eagerly awaited the arrival of the 4th of July. They reveled in the joyous atmosphere that surrounded the holiday, with its vibrant parades, spirited gatherings, and mesmerizing fireworks displays. Little did they know that this year, their celebration of independence would be marred by a terrifying encounter. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow across the landscape, Emily and Michael prepared to host a 4th of July party at their historic farmhouse. The couple adorned their home with patriotic decorations, ensuring that every corner reflected the spirit of the occasion. Friends and family gathered, their laughter and conversation filling the air with a sense of anticipation. As dusk settled, a peculiar sensation washed over the couple. A chilling breeze seemed to caress their skin, raising goosebumps on their arms. They exchanged a glance, sensing that something inexplicable was about to unfold. Unbeknownst to them, their idyllic farmhouse was not as serene as it appeared. As the night wore on, the atmosphere grew increasingly eerie. Strange noises echoed through the halls, and doors creaked open and shut on their own accord. Emily and Michael dismissed the occurrences as mere figments of their imagination, choosing to immerse themselves in the festivities and the company of their loved ones. But as the clock struck midnight, signaling the arrival of Independence Day, an invisible force seized control of their home. The jovial atmosphere dissipated, replaced by an oppressive silence that enveloped the farmhouse. Emily and Michael exchanged concerned glances, their hearts pounding in unison. They ventured deeper into the house, cautiously exploring the rooms where shadows danced and flickered ominously. Each step they took echoed with a foreboding resonance, as if the house itself whispered secrets from its haunted past. Their friends, now gripped by fear, huddled close, seeking solace in their presence. In the dim candlelight, Emily and Michael discovered an old photograph hidden beneath layers of dust. It depicted a couple eerily resembling themselves, trapped in an eternal embrace. The date inscribed on the back coincided with the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the unsettling realization dawned upon them: they were not alone in their own home. Whispers, faint and sorrowful, echoed throughout the house, their words carried on the wind. Emily and Michael could discern fragments of tragic tales, lost souls yearning for freedom, and a curse intertwined with the history of their farmhouse. They had unwittingly stumbled upon a haunting that transcended time itself. Determined to uncover the truth and break the grip of the spectral presence, Emily and Michael sought the guidance of a local historian. The historian revealed a ritual that could potentially free the trapped spirits. They needed to gather objects of personal significance to the departed couple and create a sacred circle in the heart of the farmhouse. With newfound knowledge and an unyielding love for one another, Emily and Michael gathered their friends and began the ritual. They collected sentimental items, a weathered love letter, a cherished locket, and a faded photograph, and arranged them in a circle on the floor. Candles were placed at each cardinal point, casting a soft glow that illuminated the room. The group held hands and closed their eyes, invoking the spirits with heartfelt words. They spoke of compassion, forgiveness, and the desire for the tormented souls to find eternal peace. As their voices intertwined, a gust of wind swept through the room, stirring the air with an otherworldly presence. The farmhouse trembled as the spirits materialized before them. Their ethereal forms shimmered in the candlelight, a mix of longing and sorrow etched upon their faces. Emily and Michael felt a surge of empathy and love as they reached out to the spirits, their words filled with compassion and understanding. In that moment, the atmosphere shifted. The spirits embraced one another, their spectral forms intertwining before ascending towards the ceiling. The room was filled with a blinding light, and a sense of serenity washed over everyone present. The spirits were finally free, released from the confines of their earthly tether. Emily and Michael, forever changed by their encounter, stood hand in hand, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced together. Their farmhouse, once a place of sorrow, became a sanctuary of love and resilience. Each year, as they celebrated the 4th of July, their hearts overflowed with gratitude for their independence, not only as a nation, but also as a couple who had triumphed over the spectral shadows of the past.